of redevelopment of 10 railway stations. To tell us more about that, we have with us Mr. Anup Kumar Mittal, the CMD of the company. Hi, Mr. Mittal. Thanks so much, sir, for joining in. So we have the headline that, in fact, the MoU has been signed. If you give us some more details, what's the quantum of this kind of an order?
You see, this MoU which we have signed with the Ministry of Railways is initially for redevelopment of 10 railway stations. And of course, we have not worked out the actual cost and the quantum of this project. But I think minimum average 500 crore rupees of each station will cost, including redevelopment, station refurbishing, and I mean, whatever commercialization we can do there. So altogether, it should be more than 5,000 crore rupees project.
And the time frame, sir?
And the time frame is not yet, listed in that agreement, but we are targeting that at least 1 or 2 stations are completed in next 2 years' time.
Okay.
And all the stations are completed in 3 years' time.
Oh, all right. Thanks a lot, sir, for joining in. First up, we'll just pull up the intraday chart of HCC. They've won some orders coming in from the Bengaluru metro contract worth nearly 800 crores. So that stock has seen a sharp spike as we speak. That is HCC that I'm talking about. But let's just focus back to our conversation with Mr. Anup Kumar Mittal of NBCC. Sir, apart from the railway redevelopment of railway stations, this morning we got some update on the exchanges from the company as well. That you've signed some MoU with the South Delhi Municipal Corp for a 525 crore rupees project. Is this likely to be executed in this year itself? And what does this, along with the railway development order, take your order book to?
You see, this agreement which we have signed with the South Delhi Municipal Corporation is for construction of their headquarter building. The value is about 500 crore rupees. And you see, the background of this project is this is next to Pragati Maidan ITPO project which we are doing for Government of India. So they have 5 to 7 acre land there. So we'll construct their headquarter building there. So this agreement we have signed on the same day when railway stations agreement was signed. And the total entire project is likely to be completed within 2 years' time. And revenue booking of this project, South Delhi Municipal Corporation, will start sometime third quarter of this financial year.
All right, Mr. Mittal, just to revisit your numbers for FY18, 30% revenue growth we're going to do, right? Can we better that number? And margins were expected to improve a tad bit. That's on course, right?
Right.
All right. Quickly, sir, Air India has been top story in the last few days. Now I'm aware that you'll have, you'll have a nomination basis in terms of developing Air India's colonies. Right now, if Air India gets sold, as reports indicate over the last few days, and in fact, Indigo has confirmed that yes, they are interested in Air India, then what happens to that agreement and that understanding that NBCC has with Air India? There is a possibility that the party that takes over Air India could say, well, we want to go for a private developer. Do you see that happening, or does your contract stand?
You see, there are 2 scenarios. One is, I don't know whether government will sell this company X land parcels, which they did in VSNL case earlier. In that case, of course, we'll continue to develop their properties. That is one scenario.
Correct.
Another scenario is if the entire company is sold, including land and properties, the Indigo or XYZ, whosoever is purchased that, they have 2 options. Either go with the existing agreement or they can choose new, developer. So, but in all probabilities, a new company also would like to go with NBCC because we have different credibility in market in comparison to private developers, and any aviation or airline company does not have that kind of sense of real estate. So for them, it will be better to go with the Government of India company, and our commercial terms are also not very, damaging for them. It's very transparent, and only nominal PMC charges we charge 7 to 10%, and I think I'm quite hopeful this agreement will continue.
A couple of things, Mr. Mittal. First up, you spoke about the 5,000 crore opportunity in the 10 railway stations that you're developing. How much of that comes to NBCC? I reckon you get just the PMC?
Yes, we'll get certain revenue, PMC charges, I think 8 or 9%. on construction cost and 1% marketing charges for commercial exploitation. That will come to NBCC. One more thing I would like to tell you, all the viewers, that when we have signed this agreement in presence of two honorable ministers, Urban Development Minister Mr. Venkaiah Naidu and Railway Minister Suresh Prabhuji. Mr. Prabhu also mentioned that in second phase they would like to give at least 30 more stations to NBCC, considering that NBCC is more active in redevelopment of properties. So in future, maybe in a month or 2 months' time, you will see another set of agreement.
All right, Mr. Mittal, finally, before we let you go, there's so much of talk of Air India, so you gave us a couple of scenarios that could play out. If you could tell us what is the value, of that entire redevelopment that we're talking about with Air India and their land parcels, etc. What is the project size, sir?
You see, they have number of projects. Some projects are in Delhi, few projects are in Bombay and New Bombay. So we have not worked out, but in first phase, 2 projects in Delhi, we are, almost very close to finalize that DPR. And the value is about 3,000 to 4,000 crore rupees of 2 properties. One is in Connaught Place, Baba Khadak Singh Bagh, and another is in Vasant Vihar. Both the places, that best place in Delhi. So the value is about 3,000 to 4,000 crore rupees. The rest of the properties we have not still analyzed. The numbers are not readily available with me.
All right, Mr. Mittal, thanks a lot. We wish you good luck for the execution of all these projects and may that reflect in your numbers soon. With that,